Set against the backdrop of Valkenswaard, a town renowned for its rich equestrian heritage, we find ourselves at the Longines Tops International Arena, too many regarded as the home of show jumping for stage 10 of the Global Champions League, the most incredible grass ring that you will find throughout the entire season. And this is where we find ourselves here this week for GCL. Good afternoon and welcome everybody to what is going to be a sensational weekend of show jumping. And we kickstart the show with the Kunststars, powered by the Iron Dames, who currently find themselves in second place on the leaderboard, the defending GCL champions from 2024. And we open up with one of the mid-season transfers. Julia Martinengo-Marquez joins us in the studio. Julia,
Hi.
this is wonderful to have you here. Firstly, welcome to Global Champions League.
Thank you
welcome to
so
the studio.
much.
It's great to have you. How are you doing today?
Well, doing great. Happy to be here in such an amazing place with this grass arena behind us. It's wow, super.
It is a remarkable location, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, because it almost takes your breath away just being able to watch it, especially from this view. You have now joined up with the Kunststars. I imagine this is a very exciting moment for you. Can you give us some perspective on when those conversations began? How did that mid-season transfer talk come about?
Well, let's say it started with a few chats at the end of last year, and then it became more reality and concrete through the first months, and we agreed on start with the second half. So here I am, proud to be part of this amazing group of ladies, and proud to start and excited to start here.
I think what we saw develop in 2024 and what we've seen continue in 2025, the project that has been set up by Deborah Mayer has been absolutely outstanding. One thing that the Kunststars are known for is firepower. They know that every rider that comes to the team brings with it a lot of horsepower, lots of action from the stable. Can you give us some insight as to what the stable looks like? What do you have available to you that can come to GCL stages and perform right now?
Well, I have a nice group of horses. The star of the stable is Delta de Lille, which is here, obviously. And then I have his loyal partners, which are Captain Morgan, which is jumping also here in Valkenswaard, and a few more horses that will help through the next legs to make, I hope, the best results possible.
What is the plan then for the next couple of stages? Mid-season transfers are exciting because you're able to come in almost like a super sub that we see, and you can make a big impact in the second half. Do you put up your hand and decide what you're available for? How does the conversation go?
Well, it went really smooth. It was the nicest group to talk with. I think we made a good plan for the shows that suits the best for thinking about calendar and type of shows. So I'm going to jump here, Riesenbeck, Rome, and hopefully Prague.
When you jump in a giant grass ring like this, quite similar to what you're going to find in Riesenbeck as well, what are challenges that one can find when there is such an enormous ring, so many challenges? What is something that you would look at already now ahead of GCL round 2 and go, all right, that I know is going to be a challenge already?
Well, I think I'm quite lucky. I have an outstanding horse that proved so far to be phenomenal quite in every situation. So I feel that way. I feel really safe with him. And these kind of rings are normally the ones he likes most.
You'll be jumping GCL round 2. I see that Sophie Hinnes, Kathleen Ackermann will be jumping round 1. What do you think of the two riders? Talk to me about your teammates.
Well, I feel...
What are they like?
They are just amazing to watch. I really love the way they ride. They are just amazing. So I feel so happy to be part of this strong string of ladies.
We look forward to seeing you come on in round 2. We look forward to seeing you throughout the rest of the season as well. So best of luck here in Valkenswaard. Best of luck for the rest of GCL. And we hope that we see you many more times here in the studio.
I hope so.
It is an open door for you. Whenever you would like to come and join us, please go on and do so. One of the new mid-season transfers for the Kunststars, powered by the Iron Dames, as Julia Martinengo-Marquez comes to join us in the studio. She'll be here for GCL round 2 as well. For now, though, let's take a moment to reflect on this incredible ring. We talk about its aura. We talk about what it feels like to be in a place like this. We decided to send Rosie Turner out with the current championship leaders and, ironically, the home team as well, as Gilles Thomas takes a walk around this beautiful, beautiful arena with Rosie Turner.
Well, this weekend we are here at the state-of-the-art Longines Tops International Arena, the spiritual home of the Global Champions League. And to talk all about this, who better to have than a rider from the home team, Valkenswaard United, Gilles Thomas. This place feels very special. Why is it so special?
Every detail is here. Two big arenas, like here you have the grass arena, who is every weather condition always in perfect shape. The grass always seems like new. Even on the third day it's still very good. And also you feel that the horses really like it and they jump always here very good. So I hope mine will jump as well good here. And then on the other side you also have a center arena. So that means that there are many classes during the day. So also for us it's a nice place to bring some other horses, some younger horses. Actually, I think it's one of the only globals that you can bring 5 or 6 horses.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot to see on this tour of this very special venue. So, Gilles, let's go. Well, as we walk along this bridge, it's almost like we get a bird's eye view of everything. And I tell you who else gets a bird's eye view, the commentators and the judges who up in this incredible building, which we call the Spider, they've got their own little locations. They can see exactly what's going on at all times.
We have 2 big warm-ups here. The smaller one is we can use when we need to jump on the center arena. And then we have another one, a bit bigger one, that we use when we need to jump on the big grass arena. So it's a bit separate. That's good, and there are not too many horses in one ring, and then you can fully concentrate yourself on your course.
It's a huge arena, this warm-up arena. It's almost the size of an arena that you've been jumping in.
Yeah, this big warm-up arena is really helpful. I think the bigger the arena is, the less stress your horse gets. Because there are always many riders warming up for the class, but when you have some room, it's always nice and you can do your own thing. And then your horse also stays quiet and then you can go in with unstressful horse. Yes, here we have another arena. It's actually a covered one, so when it's too hot or when it's raining, we always can ride in this arena. I think a lot of riders like that their horses go a bit on the lunge in the morning or also just before you go on.
And is that something you like to do with your horses?
Yes, actually, especially with the 2 horses I have here, with Calista and Chiara, I always like that they go a bit on the lunge before I go on, because they are a bit stressful horses, and when they can go on the lunge like 15 minutes before I go on, they are a bit more relaxed. So that's also a bit the reason why I took the 2 horses to this place, because here are good facilities for them.
Well, we've walked now rows and rows and rows and rows of stabling. We think over 500 fixed stables here.
The stables are very big, so it's very safe for the horses, especially when you have stallions here. It's very safe for them, and at the end, that's the most important.
Yeah, and I mean, they look so happy. These are 2 of your youngsters looking so calm here. I mean, when did they arrive?
They arrived this morning, so they are settling very well. It's not the first time that they are here, so like Chiara, she was here already before.
Gilles, we can't talk to you and not talk to you about Valkenswaard United, currently sitting in the top spot. How confident are the team for this weekend?
Oh, yeah, the last couple of shows it went very well for the team. So we had a little break in the season. We had 2 weeks ago London, was good. So we hope we can continue like that. And yeah, here we have again me and Hansi Dreyer for the team. We both brought one of our best horses, and for sure we want to have a good result because it's also a home show, so that's makes it even more special.
I was about to say to you, you're about an hour and a half away. It really is home for you coming here. Does the atmosphere feel different when you go into the arena?
Yeah, a little bit. I hope the public and the audience will share a bit more when we enter the arena. But yeah, also when you can ride now with the armband, so that means that you are the leader. It gives a bit more excitement, a bit more pressure, and then we are all a bit more focused.
You've got to hold on to that top spot, Gilles. Thank you so much for showing us this beautiful, beautiful location for this weekend, stage 10 of the Global Champions League.
It's not a bad person to have take you on a tour guide here of the Longines Tops International Arena. To have Gilles Thomas, the man who is arguably the golden boy of show jumping in the world right now, leading in the GCL with Valkenswaard United, able to take you around on his home show. Gilles Thomas, Rosie Turner, thank you very much for that. Very nice to catch up with Gilles ahead of today's action from GCL Round 1 coming up in a few moments' time. Course walk officially underway. You can see over my shoulder here, beautiful bird's eye view of all of the riders that are currently measuring their strides, currently trying to work out exactly what they need to do later on today. More from that a little bit later on. For now, though, let's flash back to London. Let's remind you what took place in the previous stage, and most importantly, talk about the impact of that stage. This is what happened in GCL London.
Welcome to an extraordinary weekend of elite equestrian sport here on GCTV. We are getting set for the second round of the GCL, the Global Champions League here in London. Jana, though, has changed horses. She's got Durette with her as well. She jumped a 9-year-old for 8 in round 1. Had no team on 0 at the end of the opening round. The opening 2 teams have both achieved that in this second round. And what a great news story. Emily Conter with Portobello Venturite. Now she's just got 1 to go. Not quite fast enough to overtake Basel, but can they stay there in second for the moment? They've done it. Now it's Catherine's turn. No stranger to the big pressure situations. Kathleen Eckermann changes over to Iron Dames Dalou Blue PS after the 4 on Cidello, and already 4. So they still have the lead by a clear fence, but not anymore. Now the clock, and she's got over the last. Where does that clock stop? They go into third behind the Mexico Amigos. The last team is the Shanghai Swans. Oh, well, there's half the advantage gone. If he jumps it clear, it's a win for Shanghai. If he doesn't, it would be different. But it is indeed.
Ben with 2 times 4 faults, we won. That means that the other ones had actually worse results than us, so it was difficult enough.
It's difficult for things to go wrong when you have Daniel Doyce, when you have Ben Mayer available in your team. Yet another win for the Shanghai Swans, and they continue to remain in that championship hunt, along with the CanStars powered by the Iron Dames and those championship leaders, Valkenswaard United. Let's go over the rankings then, give you some perspective as to what has changed, what has moved since the GCL in London. Ahead of today's stage in Valkenswaard. They continue to lead, albeit by just 6 points. Then CanStars only a single point above Shanghai. But there is that 3-horse race, because with over 40 points between Shanghai and Prague Lions, it's very obvious to see that that championship fight is almost breaking away with those top 3 teams. But interestingly then, from the Prague Lions all the way down to the end of that page, one might argue, all of those teams are fighting for a top 4 place. We'll talk about top 4 later on today, and we'll explain to you how and why it is just so important to get inside the top 4 and how heartbreaking it can be to finish in 5th, just outside of that. For now, New York Empire find themselves in 10th, powered by Lugano. Rome Gladiators down in 14th. The Doha Falcons, how disappointing a season it's been for them. And as it stands, the Paris Panthers continue to fight with the Scandinavian Vikings, as the team in last place will not compete in the GCL Super Cup in Prague at the end of the year, and that is going to be a major, major blow. Nobody, new rule in 2025, nobody wants to finish bottom of the table, because that means that that team will not compete in the GCL Super Cup later on this year. We spoke about those top 4 teams. We've spoken about how there's that big chunk of teams that are competing for that top 4. One of the teams in form in that list is the Basel Cosmopolitans. Rosie Turner sat down with Basel to get some thoughts on where their season is right now.
Andreas, I think we've got to start with London. That was the most extraordinary weekend. Just tell us about it for those who might not know.
Yeah, it was indeed. First round for us started rather normal. We had 12 faults after the first round. Luckily for many teams, there was not too many teams on a clean sheet. So first to go, didn't have the biggest expectation, but we agreed on. Many teams were close to us, so the girls went in and we had a plan not to go too slow because there might be an opening at least to move. Nice
Maybe a couple of spaces.
Exactly. Not that we expected to go on the podium. So for us, the class was all of a sudden crazy exciting.
It definitely feels like it's a team who are just rising and rising. What were the realistic expectations that you had for yourselves?
The first year on the season as this team, but we have a very good team together. Very nice mix of different riders. And I think it was just to establish ourselves and come as prepared and as good as possible to each station and just give our best and see where it gets us.
Do you think you've surpassed your expectations?
Not yet. I think we can do more. I mean, in Doha, we were asked to describe the team in one word, and I think I said strong, which I also believe the team is. We are a group of riders that can deliver really good. Somehow, the first part of the season was good enough, but just didn't deliver as we expected with the horses and riders we actually had in hand. Now, luckily, first Monaco came everything together, and now again, I would say that appearance was very, very strong in London, and I hope for the end of the season that we can keep delivering at least. Podium is, with 17 teams, difficult to reach, but I believe once or twice more, hopefully, and our goal is definitely, as I said from the beginning, to end within top 5.
Talk to me about strategy, though. How you decide every weekend which horses are ready. I mean, London's a really perfect example of, Zasha going in with a horse that had never jumped that level before. From your point of view, strategizing each weekend, how have you done it throughout the year?
As you said, it is a new team. I also had to figure everything out, and first part of the year, we divided the shows a little bit equally and really tried to let people go where they wanted to go. Of course, some weeks worked our way, other weeks less, either maybe also because a horse was sold or one horse wasn't 100% fit, so we had to change last minute. I think now we will try, again, at least to come as strong as possible.
So now you're back, because we actually haven't seen you jump for the team since Madrid. You're now back on the tour, you're back on, really fighting for this team. How excited are you for the rest of the season to have more of a focus on that?
Definitely a lot. That's what I had in mind already a long time in school, how it will be when I can focus 100% on the horses for a while. And that's what I try to do, to have more time, to be more focused than before. And I always said if you say A and if you want to do sport, the education is equally important for me to a certain point. So I also wanted to do good there, and that's what we tried to do.
Are we allowed to ask how the exams went?
Very well.
We've got the results.
Yes, we got the results, and they were lived up to my expectations.
Lastly, Andreas, you're currently lying in 6th, but you are knocking on the door of that top 4. How determined is the team behind the scenes to get there?
Very much indeed. I think we have a very good plan. All stages are divided up between the riders, and everyone tried to make their best plan towards the next shows until.
Are they already planned?
They already planned, more or less. For sure, changes will come if we have an unfit horse or unfit rider or whatsoever. But otherwise, people really try to tell me where they expect what ring, what show would suit their horses. So everybody has their own working plan now towards, and we hope it then will give the success that can bring us into the top 4.
Well, as I said, it is a team on the rise. Massive good luck for this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Basel Cosmopolitans sitting down with us and having a conversation as to where they find themselves in the season. Can you imagine being busy with school exams and still needing to jump on a Global Champions League stage? These talented youngsters that we find on a weekly basis here in the GCL are truly remarkable. Where do Basel Cosmopolitans come out in the start list? That's a question. Let's show you then how the teams line up today. A reminder that round one is generated by a computer. There is nothing else to it. Auto-generated by computer for GCL round one. Paris Panthers, the team struggling at the bottom of the championship standings, have an unlucky draw. They will be the first to go. Can Stars, defending champions, will be out. Fourth, Madrid Emotion. We'll chat about them in a few moments' time. Will be seventh to go. Prague Lions, one of those teams in the top four hunt, will be 10th. Valkenswaard United, the home team, 14th to go. Quite a late start for them. Razorback International, they'll be happy with that. Followed by New York Empire, powered by Lugano, and Mexico Amigos, powered by H5 Stables. That is the start list for Global Champions League round one today. Very early start for Paris Panthers, very late start for the Mexico Amigos, and a handful of top four teams scattered around that start list. That does make for a really exciting GCL round one coming up in a few moments' time. We spoke about Madrid Emotion, or at least I mentioned Madrid Emotion a little bit earlier on. They are still and seemingly always seem to be involved in that conversation. They have an incredible history at the GCL Super Cup. They have been crowned winners of the GCL Super Cup in the past. They seemingly are always knocking on the door on a top four spot, and that seems to be the case once again today. We know that Madrid Emotion are here, they are present, and the very, very talented Kim Emmen is currently standing by to be one of the team riders to come out for Madrid Emotion in GCL round one. Interestingly enough, about the horse choices as well. Kim Emmen, along with Kesmet and Manuel Fernandez Saro on Ezelius later on today. We decided to sit down with Kim Emmen to get some thoughts from the Dutch.
Kim, Madrid in Motion are so close, just behind the top four, just 3 points behind Prague Lions. What have the team been discussing behind the scenes?
We didn't really discuss, to be honest, but obviously 2 weeks ago in London was quite tough, the second round, because we were quite in the beginning of the teams, and we both jumped clear, but we didn't really road for the time because we thought on the end it would not be so important. But if we would have been 2 seconds or 1 second quicker, we would have been third, I think. So that cost us also some points, but we keep the eyes on the coming shows.
Eyes on the prize, 100%. Talk to me a little bit about the horsepower that you bring here this weekend and that the team have.
Okay, I bring this week 2 bit greener horses. Helix is going to step up for the first time 160, and Kesmet will jump to 155.
And we've not actually seen Kesmet on this tour before. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's a 10-year-old. We bred him ourselves, or Eric bred him himself, and he jumped in Eindhoven, the 4-star Grand Prix. He was fourth there, double clear. So I think he is hopefully ready to show what he gets.
I know Michael brings in Beauville as well, who's been so consistent on the tour. Do you think this is the weekend that you jump into the top four?
Okay, we are going to try, but you never know, you can never say, but for sure we go for the clear rounds, but I'm not sure if this is the weekend.
As you said, Helix has never jumped on grass before. How confident are you going out there with him?
I jumped him at home on the grass, and that felt quite okay, so we are going to go for it.
As a team, it seems a silly question because I'm sure you are all hungry to be in that top four, but just how competitive is it getting?
Okay, I think we are all getting really competitive for the top four because that gives us a straight place to the final of playoffs, and for sure we want to go for that.
And has the team talked strategy for the rest of the season yet? Is that planned?
We have the coming 2 shows planned, and after that, nothing.
Okay, well, massive good luck for this weekend.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you very much to Kim Emmen, giving us some thoughts, giving us some insight as to what Madrid Emotion is going to look like going today and into the rest of the weekend, and what does the season look like for Madrid Emotion, who are knocking on that door. But let's talk about GCL Super Cup. Let's talk about this infamous top 4 conversation, because it's important that we inform you as to why finishing in the top 4 becomes so important. Fast forward to the end of the season, when we wrap up the finals in Riyadh at the end of the year. We will know the teams that find themselves in the top 4 positions. Valkenswaard United, Stars and Shanghai Swans are running away with this race. But as it stands, Prague Lions currently find themselves in 4th place. But because of how tight the table is, we believe that from Prague Lions all the way down to the Istanbul Warriors, barely separated by 20 points, all of those teams that are highlighted in yellow are still very much in the mix. They are still very much in the conversation for a top 4 fight. If they are inside the top 4, it means that they are going to be competing in only the GCL Super Cup semi-final. It means that they will miss a quarterfinal stage. They will have one night less of jumping, one night of rest for themselves, one night of rest for their horses. And that, in the world of show jumping, is remarkably important. The teams do not want to jump more than they have to. Additional rest, additional time off is going to be very, very important. So because of that, they want to finish as high as they can to get themselves into that semi-final, to have the night off in the GCL Super Cup quarterfinal. Rosie Turner has made her way in from the ring. I'll deal with that. Talk to me about what you were able to gather from your time in the ring. Who did you speak to? What are some of the riders thinking about that course walk that's been designed?
Well, I actually managed to speak to our commentator today, Tom, and he said he thinks it's quite a big round one, actually. There are definitely a few question marks, and I think quite a few points that we're going to see some fences down. Particularly, I think it was fence 10 to 11, the Global Champions fence, is a style, so it's a much narrower fence, and it's also an oxer, which we don't see very often, and it's an oxer to an oxer. So I think we're going to see quite a few difficult parts of this course, which is really exciting. But also, as you can probably see in the arena, there are quite a few other fences from in there sort of dotted around that aren't being jumped, but it gives you routes that you could take throughout it. So depending on how the teams are going, some might want to try and jump in between to get a better time. Some might take a longer route, but we've got some young horses in this group.
Talk to me about that. I was going to say to you, some pretty interesting horse selections as well. We know that GCL Round 1 often gives riders the opportunity to be a little braver in their horse selection. Yep. Give us a quick update on who you think has brought a rather unique choice today.
Well, I think Madrid in Motion, I think we've heard from Kim, or we'll hear from Kim. She's got Kesmet, who we've never seen here on tour before. And she says that Kesmet can be very hot. So he can either be very calm, but any noise, he's very sensitive to noise that can make him then go. He's got an amazing way of jumping. She showed me a video yesterday, but he can be quite hot. So we'll just be seeing how he's coping today. Scandinavian Vikings are bringing in an 8 and a 9-year-old, which is extraordinary. We've actually seen Rock and Roll MXL, Sarah's horse, who's 8. We've seen him on tour, but never in the team. And Yer is bringing in Kiliman Sight, who we've never seen on tour before. So I think this could be really interesting as well. Prague Lions bring in a 9-year-old with Lente. Peter de Vos is right, but we know that this is a good horse. It's been really consistent. So we've got some exciting young horses. Obviously, Gilles Thomas as well. He's actually got both of his young 9-year-olds here, but we've seen them on tour. I mean, the superstars in his box at the moment are amazing. The bravery to select an 8-year-old horse to compete in a Global Champions League stage is simply remarkable. Right, Rosie, we'll let you get to work. We know we have a very big, long day ahead. Thank you very much. There's a lot to look forward to by the end of the afternoon. GCL Round 1 will start. Then there will be a break. The managers and the riders will have an opportunity to change whatever they feel needs changing. And then we'll prepare for GCL Round 2 later on tonight. Shown you the start list. We've shown you that the Paris Panthers are the first team to come out today. We've spoken about the top 4. We've spoken about the importance of that top 4 finish. We've also spoken about how and why those top 3 teams in the championship, in the Stars, Valkenswaard United, and of course the Shanghai Swans, are now in the hunt for a championship hunt. Of course, that is all to come later on tonight. We look forward to having you with us here on the stage to bring you through to GCL Round 1. We hope that you stay with us throughout the entire program. Paris Panthers and the Global Champions League Round 1 starts next.